Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Fresh Out the Box Plays Fantasy Age from Green Roman Publishing. I, as always, am the Game Master, Johananan.
Oh, hi. Howdy, I'm Thomas Avenger, down here in Houston, Texas, voice actor, artist, teacher, here for a long time and a good time. Who's next?
I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbidian. I'm a variety tabletop role-playing game and variety video game Twitch streamer, and I'm here to ruin everyone's day, as usual. Including yours, viewer. You know who you are.
My name is Erin Bombier. You can find me at Erin Dippity Doo. I am co-host of the Adventure Sling podcast and tabletop designer with the Adventure Sling Productions. We are making New Ovarn right now, which is going great, but that is me.
What's up? My name is Keon. I made the theme song that you listen to, and I just want everybody to know, Jahan bought me some halal food, and I spilled the spicy sauce on my hoodie, and now if I want to, I can do this, and I can still get a little bit of the spice.
The spice, yeah.
And it's, yeah.
The spice must flow, Keon. The spice must flow. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, Keon's my younger brother, and Thomas is Gary's older brother. So It's a whole family affair here on Fresh Out the Box. Gary is having some technical difficulties that are beyond his control. I believe the internet went out due to somebody like hitting a gas main or something in New Mexico. So supposedly that'll be rectified any minute now. But we're gonna go ahead and begin things. And hey, I'm Casualty CDG, but you can call me Gary. There you go. It's like you see.
Retired, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Call me Gary.
Turned tabletop titan. Yeah, I forgot some of it. I have Empire Blights, but yeah. So this is our session
I've
0.
been painting miniatures a bunch recently, and it's really been
Yes.
helping me chill out. So that's what I've been up to. I got an airbrush, and I suck with it, but I'll get good.
Yes, I've been looking at your airbrushing, Gary, and it's been very nice. Yeah.
Thanks.
Wait, so is Gary airbrushing? Or
Yes,
was
Gary's
Thomas
airbrushing.
So Thomas was just pretending to be Gary talking about airbrushing?
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
okay.
That's
He didn't
correct.
change the voice.
Right.
He didn't change the
Right.
voice enough.
All right.
You're
Now
supposed to guess.
who said it? Avenger edition.
I am pretty sure if Gary said it, it would have sounded just like
Yeah. So this is our session 0 for Fantasy Age. Fantasy Age is obviously uses the Age system for Green Ronin Publishing. We have done the Expanse, and Modern Age is currently going on as well on this channel. So you might be familiar with it. Everyone playing here today, I do not believe, has played an Age game, except for Corbinian, who has played Dragon Age.
Yep.
Correct. All right, cool. So the Age system, well, I'm going to break that down really fast for you, just so you kind of get the gist of it. It is a 3d6 system. Usually you want to use 2 of one color, 1 of another color. As long as you know which one of the dice is your drama dice, it's all good. You roll the 3d6. You add them together, and whatever you get is, if you beat the target number, typically you'll succeed. You'll add your stats to it, and if you have a skill, you'll add +2 to that. It's very easy on the math end. The part where it gets fun is if you roll doubles on any of the 3 dice, including the drama dice, you get stunt points. You generate stunt points, and stunt points will be equal to whatever is on the drama dice. So if you roll a 5 on the drama dice, you get 5 stunt points. There's a list of stunts. Also, you can kind of freeform them if you can't quite find the thing that you want. But they allow you to do things like disarm, pierce armor, sunder armor, do backflips. Also, they can help in investigations, chase scenes, being in court with kings. You can make people like you with stunt points. You can do anything with stunt points. It's pretty much, I would say, the crux of the whole Age system. Mm-hmm. It's really what makes it unique, and it's one of my favorite parts about Age. But so that's Age. This is Fantasy Age. All of you have kind of looked at the books a little bit, but we're going to go over some stuff. We're going to do some character creation here. All of you, I believe I released your character sheets to you in Roll 20. So you should be able to mess with them, alter them, do what you will with them. Let me know if that's not the case.
Click on to get there.
Also, I do believe, I didn't check beforehand, I meant to. Oh, someone already renamed their character. Oh, you got the Dragon Age character sheet. So, you can switch what character sheet it is by going to
I'm in the chat on Roll 20. Fantasy Age.
the edit. Huh, I forget how. There's a way, because, yeah.
It's in the little gear. If you look like next to Magic, there's a little gear icon, and you can change the game system. Based
I see it. Yep. So you can switch with the little gear thing. It goes character persona, powers, focus, magic. Then there's a gear. You can use that to change what game this is for, because this is a one-size-fits-all character sheet for Modern Age, Fantasy Age, all that good stuff. If you don't follow that, it's okay. You'll get there. But yeah. So I know you guys had some ideas. Before we get... How should we do this? Should we do the character stuff first, or should we start talking about the game first. You guys want to talk about maybe your? Well, we can start with lines and veils. Let's just get that out of the way, so that we don't do anything that makes anyone uncomfortable right out the gate. All of you have played with Fresh Out the Box before, so all of you are familiar with this process. For those of you viewing, lines and veils are things that you either make you uncomfortable or things that you want to kind of just glaze by, you know. So I know Gary always says no hanging, no dead children, no too much gore. Those are good examples. Gary publicly has PTSD, and so he usually makes it a point to share that so that people know or people are informed that that's a thing and it's okay. Respect people's issues. So, does anybody have anything? You don't have to say anything. You can tell me in private if you're uncomfortable about it. But if you have anything you would like to publicly be like, don't do this, I'm listening.
I've been lucky enough to have you DM for me a few times, man. You take care of most of that on your own. Run a clean table.
Hey, thanks, man. Yeah, the standing writer for my games, and for most games that I know about, no, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, none of that stuff flies at my table. I don't think that's an issue for anyone here, so good. But those are hard passes. But if everyone else is kind of comfortable, I know that, maybe we steer away from too much direct, like romance on screen. Let's try not, I don't need my whole table trying to, have sex with each other and stuff. And
I roll charisma against Corbinian.
Yeah, exactly. I've been there, man. I've been there.
You just have to buy me dinner. No charisma need no stuff.
All right. Split the party.
I was at a table where two players were doing it, and it was uncomfortable. So, like,
Nice.
we could avoid that.
The rolls were included.
Yeah, there was like rolls.
Good.
It was
Roll
they got way too
content.
into it.
Well, I mean, it was you and me, so you don't need to be so against it. But
Did the highest constitution mod win that?
How are you supposed to win six?
That's that you win? I don't know.
no, everyone loses. Speaking of
Everybody-
losing, I'm having a real moment. I don't know where the character sheet is in roll 20. I just have roll
Oh, it's
20
right
open. I don't.
next to the messenger icon.
Yeah, go to the top of like
I'm
the.
clicking on it, and then nothing comes up on my
And
screen.
then when you
He
click
might be seeing this.
Oh,
The sheet
yeah.
might be open to him yet.
Huh?
It's not there for you yet. I'm doing it right now. There it is, Ken.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I felt so dumb.
If you have a problem, like I said, I'm here to solve them. So, but yeah, if no one has anything that they need to say, I do pride myself on having a pretty safe table, so I'm glad that y'all trust me with that. But yeah, so we can shoot past that. We'll get into a bit of what kind of game y'all are looking for. Man, I do want Gary. We'll go to characters. I want Gary here for that part of the conversation. We'll go to your characters because that's more individualistic. So
Because even then, with character concepts, they'll help fill out what we need in the world anyway.
yeah, it's probably good to start with you guys as individuals. So page 8 is where it starts. The character creation process. It appears to be a 9-step process, but me and Gary have joked that there's actually like 13. Create character concept. So pretty much all of you have this. You have your core idea of who you are, and that's good. It's a good place to start. 2, determine abilities. These are your character's core physical and mental abilities. Then we're going to choose races. The core book has elf, dwarf, gnome, halfling, human, or orc, but the companion expands upon those and adds beast folk, which is any animal, including like avian. They have their own set of rules, aquatic animals, all that good stuff. Then there's blooded. They are half pretty much anything. So if you want to be half of a race, oh, here he is.
Oh no.
I'm excited now.
Half-blooded himself.
Now, what did we just say?
That's me. That's me, Kiat. Me and Kiat are half blooded.
You're both ASMR?
Sorry, I was fixing something. Yeah, Gary's showing up here, but as that's going on, yes. So the blooded. Then there's the Drakh, who are this game's answer to Dragonborn. They're pretty cool looking. They're pretty dope. And then there are the Oreen, who are artificial construct people. So much like the Warforged of D&D, but they can be pretty varied.
Because it's also the robot standing. Any artificial being.
Any artificial being, yeah. You could be a lot of stuff. You could be a golem. You could be some sort of clockwork man. Whatever floats your boat, G. But yeah, so I tend not to limit my players. All of you played on my table, but don't take it too far. Please. Determine social class and background. Your background is what you did before becoming an adventurer. I believe some of you wrote me those answers as well. Then you're going to choose your class. There are only 3 starting classes in this game. There is warrior, rogue, and mage, but they all branch off into a bunch of subclasses. So kind of look at where you want to go, where you want to wind up, and pick based on that maybe. But if all of you are mages, you could all be completely different. This game allows a lot of customization,
especially with the companion. The companion even branches up even further and further than that.
Yeah, the
more
companion.
talents, more specs.
The companion's sick. I like the companion a lot. Thank you, Green Runner, for providing these books. You can, yeah. So one of our viewers brings up an interesting point. They're going to build a modern age character, drop them in the fantasy age. The games are compatible. I actually, in our Escape from Hell episode of Modern Age, used creatures from the fantasy age book against my players, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah. The games are compatible. This one is different in that it does not have the modes in the core book, which are cinematic, pulpy, and lethal. It is just fantasy age. That's the mode. But yeah, so those first 5 are pretty much where we're going to start. The rest of it is the typical, what kind of gear you got, that kind of stuff. We can cross that bridge when we get to it. But yeah, so anyone want to go first and give me just their character concept, their basic. You don't have to give me your whole backstory, just your elevator pitch, as it were.
Hi, I'm Thomas. I'll be playing Edmund Raiden Paladin, but now he goes by Edmund Brightshield. He had a normal past, mom disappeared, then he became a sailor and thought the world was kind of shitty, so now he's gonna try to spread some joy around.
Excellent.
I'm Corbinian, and I am playing a wandering orc who is considered rather weak by his tribe, both physically, because of Rob, he's just not as big and muscly as other orcs, but he is a user of an arquebus, or for those who don't know what that is, it's think a musket, but not as good, frankly. So, but he uses an arquebus, which is not considered very popular among orcs, and so he kind of just left, and now he wanders around hunting, bopping from town to town, city to city, and then occasionally helping out people while he's traveling.
Very cool. And yes, there are black powder weapons in this setting. Even though it's a homebrew setting, black powder's fine. Just so you know.
So my concept is this 22-year-old woman who's come out of a cloister, religious kind of cloister situation. They worship the goddess Washalia, who is the goddess of beauty. And coming out of this, she is to undertake the journey, as they call it, where she is supposed to, they're supposed to basically just go out and help people see beauty again, reveal beauty, and display the world's beauty. They have this thing they mentioned called the world's beauty. Anyway, I'm getting into backstory.
That's okay. Actually, so Pantheon, that's a Pantheon build. I got a sheet up. I got a Google Doc. How you spell this?
So I spelled it WA'Shalya.
Washal.
That's pronounced Washalia.
Washalia. Okay. Goddess of a beauty. Excellent.
Yes.
And yeah, that's another thing. Great display here. I love it when my players add something to the world. If you have something that makes your character work, if you need an entire, if you're part of a secret society or a special guild of monster hunters or what have you, if you have an idea like that, I'm happy putting it in my world. And that goes for the Pantheon as well.
Long before the world existed as it exists today, there was a society beneath the ocean from which all life sprang, and my character, who is yet to be named, is a kind of Guillermo del Toro fishman monster that technically is a beastman, right, or something?
Yes, you would be beastman. Yeah.
My kingdom ? Maybe they're around. I have few memories from childhood. Definitely, my whole family was murdered by a Cthulhu monster.
Okay.
And I was raised by pirates. And I have he's got mutton chops that go into the gills. But now he wants a new life. He wants to see what the world has to offer.
Yeah. So, yeah, you talked to me about this previously. So you're from a Atlantis kind of analog. Do you want to name this place, or do you want me to do it?
You know what? Yeah, because whenever we come across that, you can figure.
Just call it Riley. It's fine. It's a sleeping god. Wouldn't worry about
what
it.
a call! I want to destroy my world before it is even formed.
Yeah, let's not do that. But yeah, we can figure it out.
Atlantis. But yeah, the creature that you were speaking of, well, I guess he made the fish person twice in, what was it, The Name of Water or something?
He's done it in all of his movies. He's in it, because Hellboy has the fish person.
Hellboy has Abe Sapien. That's what I was getting to. That's his name.
And then I think Pan's Labyrinth has kind of almost. He's just real into it.
Hey, to each their own.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sounds. Oh, there he is.
Hey.
We made it.
Man, that was the whole thing. So I got on the phone hotspot so I could at least listen along as long as I could, even though I couldn't speak back or any of that. So I've been here, ish, and I know what I'm playing. You know what I'm playing. Everyone knows what I'm playing. Social background, boom, at the top. I'm the son of an emperor, so talking big money. I'm also talking an elf from a pretty rigorous society. And I talked to you about that sort of a summer fae or a day fae, night fae court type of situation. And I plan to mimic playing maybe a hexblade warlock with a sword that is used to kill the dreams of tyrants so that they can no longer oppress the people. Or I can use the blade to slay the nightmares of heroes that are, their own thoughts are against them or keep them from their full potential. So it's kind of a strange fae, good guy, bad guy, weird neutral dream hunting character who's along with the party because how else do you traverse the mortal realm than with other heroes? And so we'll see. I don't know if that means I'm playing wizardy or roguish yet. I'm going to have to look at what those builds build into, but I'd like to be a striker class. So I've got my flavor figured out, just not quite the mechanics behind it yet.
Yeah, that's a good point. I already described this to everyone else, but there is in the companion a talent that allows any class to have magic called Arcane Dabbler. So even if you don't go mage now, you can at least have some magic in the future if you choose. But the normal avenue to that is mage. But yeah, so no, those are good character creation stuffs. Did you have a name for the god your paladin worships, Thomas, or are you like a virtue paladin that just like follows an ideal or a code? Either way is fine.
I didn't pick one, but yeah, I guess we can just do that because I didn't know if you had a pantheon of gods going already, and he's really just sort of against the idea of injustice.
I actually had some questions about that's going to stem from the world that you guys want to play in for sure. Because one of my options is historical fiction, but it doesn't sound like you guys want to do that, so I'm down. That's fine. I've got lots of other choices.
It isn't called History Age, you know what I'm saying?
Historical fiction is pretty fun.
It could be really fun. I'm sure it would be very fun.
It can also be extremely problematic, so I'm fine with not doing it too.
Yeah.
Would like to portray South.
No.
Character? No.
Can I portray the Muslim god or prophet Muhammad? Can I do that, or is that off? Okay, that's also off the table.
Also off the table.
Just making sure.
Page.
This is what session zeros are for.
Yeah. I think the only addendum I have, at least for my character concept, is that I was thinking that black powder weapons are a recent invention. So it's the sort of thing that probably humans and elves and gnomes might have, but it's not something that's widespread. So it's almost like that Renaissance era, that arquebust era. It's like, well, firearms are a thing. Most people don't walk around with them unless it's the army. Like, the army probably has some arquebusiers normally, whereas as an orc, that's unusual.
I'm totally cool with that, yeah. Definitely.
Also, as an option, if people wanted to do fantasy western, not that we are, but if there is I think it's in the companion where it's like you can do like 6-shooters and revolvers and all that stuff. Like, that's not what we're doing, but there are rules for it.
I definitely don't mind if there is a western like section in the world somewhere way out west by itself. That might be a nice touch, just to pop through.
But yeah, so we got through just sort of your elevator pitches, your character concepts, which is great. Abilities are next, so we're probably gonna roll for them. Yeah. All right. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stats: accuracy, communication, constitution, dexterity, fighting, intelligence, perception, strength, and willpower. These numbers don't get too high, so don't worry about it. They don't get. It's not like D&D. Honestly, it is exactly the breakdown of D&D, except it's just the modifiers. If you're familiar with that, some of you might be. But you're gonna roll 3d6 9 times. Who wants to go first?
Question.
Yeah.
Are we doing default where you take them as they come up, or are we arranging them?
You can arrange them.
Okay.
I feel that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Taking them as they are is pretty scary. It's like, what that construct you wanted? Not possible. Have a nice day.
I was like, that's how you play these games? Oh my god.
It can be.
That's the default. I'm like, yikes.
9 of these, you said?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah.
7, 8, 9.
Table
Alrighty.
results on page 10 to convert those into modifiers.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it's going to convert. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you need one more. That's it. Yep. So that's Thomas. I got your sheet here, and we'll go through and convert them all. Well, I guess I can explain yours as the example. So Thomas, you got a 4, a 10, a 13, a 10, a 7, a 6, an 8, an 11, and a 15. So the 4 is going to translate into a -1 modifier, which is okay. The 10 is going to be a 1. Like I said, these numbers don't get very high, The 13 is a 2. The 10 is 1. The 7 is a 0. The 6, also 0. 8, 0. 11, 1. And 15 is a 3.
Nice.
So that's a pretty standard array. You got one high, one low, and a lot of in between.
Can you read those back real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. You have a -1, a 1, a 2, a 1, a 0, a 0, a 0, a 1, and a 3.
Boy.
Launch codes.
Don't say launch codes. There's 2 Iranians on this stream. We'll get in a lot of trouble.
Man, I'm very happy that the NSA exists, and now you definitely said launch codes, Iranian launch codes. Like back to back to back. Now I've done
Nailed
it, so this stream is on a list.
That'd be funny. We
That's-
suddenly get an extra viewer.
You've been followed by the NSA.
We do have a lot of viewers.
Edward
it is-
Snowden has joined the chat.
Oh no.
Amazing.
How about hysterical fiction? Yeah, -4 to 4 is the. Let me see. I don't think you can get lower than
-4 is the lowest.
-2 is the lowest you can get rolling this.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay.
-2, and then 4 is the absolute maximum.
Boy.
Thank you, Dizzy Illidan, for the follow. It's a good name. But yeah, so that's how we're gonna do this. Whoever wants to go next, drop your rolls. I guess I can let everyone at home see if I want to.
Yeah, dude.
I'll
let
do
the
it.
people-
Oh
Okay.
god.
5,
Terrible start.
8, 7, 10, 10, 5, 10, 16.
There we
you go.
There's one. I get one.
You needed at least one good one to go where you want to go.
Yep.
All the specs require like +2 or higher for at least one thing.
Perfect. All according to plan.
All right, I got your numbers over here. I will translate them in a minute. Who wants to go next?
I will. Why not?
Corbinian up to bat.
5, 6,
These don't look great.
8, 9. A couple good stats.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
that's-
I believe you avoided any negatives, so that's good.
Got real lucky.
Got pretty low. Yeah, those are not bad rolls. I guess the only ones left, Gary or Keon. Who's up to bat?
Yeah, Keon's up next. I'm
One.
stage fright today.
It's all
2,
good, man. It's fine.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Those are bad, right?
You got at least
No,
one good one. That's
no, they are not bad. They are not bad at all.
You got one good one. That's one that matters.
I couldn't write them down because he was counting out loud. It really screwed with me. 10, 6,
Casualty,
11,
get away with
10,
your rolls.
12, 8, 6,
Oh, damn.
17, and 5. All right. Damn. All right. And then Gary. Did Gary do it?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, Gary did the... All right, Gary. All right.
Oh, there's one sub 10.
One sub 10. That's funny. Yeah. So, let me write down Gary's numerals real quick. 12,
4 zeros and a
14,
-1.
11, 13, 13, 9, 12, 11, 10. His are good, but they're very middle of the road. That's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all. Because you guys will also get to add to them 1 through play and 2 through, like, racial traits and stuff, I think. I actually don't know how they did it this time. So, really quick, pay attention to your numbers, right? get them into some sort of order that you can do this with. And I'm just going to read off like the ranges. Do it all really quickly. It's on page 10. If you need, just look at it. If it helps you, do it that way. It's fine.
Yeah.
But I will read it out just so people at home know. So you roll a 3d6. Minimum you can roll is a 3. Dizzy Dillion loves the H system. I do too. It's probably my favorite system. So 3d6, lowest roll 3, you get a -2. 4 and 5, you get a -1. 6, 7, 8 is a 0. 9, 10, 11 is a 1. 12, 13, 14 is a 2. 15, 16, 17 is a 3, and 18 is a 4. A 0 is decent. Like, the numbers aren't as detrimental. If you have, like, a 4, that's a lot. You're pretty damn good at stuff. Having any adding starting ability is pretty good. Yeah, so that's the abilities. You are going to assign those to the stats. You don't have to do it now if you're not sure. But especially because some of the things that you don't think are going to matter for your character might. Like, accuracy matters when you're using the mage's Arcane Blast. You know? I wouldn't have thought of that. But just to do a breakdown so everybody kind of understands what these skills, because they are different from standard skills. Accuracy is exactly what it sounds like. Communication is essentially your charisma in this game, your ability to communicate. Constitution is your health, your stamina, your ability to resist. Dexterity is dexterity. Dexterity is pretty self-explanatory. Fighting is specifically, they have their own stat for using melee weapons. Pretty much any kind of up-close and personal combat is going to use fighting. It is its own stat. Then there is intelligence, which is your brain box. How big is your brain box? Perception is how good you are at picking up on things, whether it's visually, emotionally, or hearing stuff, all that kind of stuff. Perceiving your surroundings, because life is just a perceptory experience. Strength is your Chotskys, your Mace Windu's, your Thunderbolts. And then willpower. Willpower is your resolve, your courage, faith, your morality, and your self-discipline.
Courage, faith, morality, and self-discipline?
Yeah, it's pretty encompassing. It's your sense of self.
Our character sheets are for Dragon Age, so a couple of those stats are named differently.
Go ahead. You weren't here for that part. So
No.
you can change. These character sheets can access any age game, which is pretty cool. Go to the character sheet section. Underneath, like where your name and class and all that stuff is, go to the cog and change game system to yep. There you go. Watch you do it. Change the fantasy age. Boom. I really like the Roll20 functionality on age is solid, guys.
That was nuts. That was insane. And it kept all of my numbers loaded too, which I thought it was going to wipe everything.
It does not wipe. It's whoever coded that thing, it was a smart person. Yeah. So you guys have your abilities. And at the end of the session, you guys don't have to have a fully formed character. You can, do it over the next week. First session is a week from today. I'm pretty excited for it. But let's stick in the character creation. The character creation house. Ability focuses. These are essentially skills. They are the things among your abilities that you're better at. Focus is an area of expertise within the larger ability, while intelligence as a whole determines how smart your character is. For example, a heraldry focus would indicate a special knowledge of coats of arms and royal families. In game system terms, if you have a focus, your ability is effectively 2 higher when working with that specialty. So it's going to add +2 to your roll if you have a specialty that pertains to something. And pretty much if you can justify that it does reasonably, I don't want to argue why Arcane Blast isn't good for shooting but just keep it within reason, but you are going to start with some of these. Does it say how many?
Use Arcane Blast to tie his shoes.
Yeah, don't do that. I might allow that one, honestly, but...
It works if they're Velcro, for sure.
Oh, it says you don't need to worry about choosing focuses now. Okay, cool. We'll move on then.
Because they're assigned by class and background.
That makes sense. I thought they were kind of jumping the gun there. But, in fact, it was me! Jumping the gun. Race! Yeah. So, race is a thing in this book. I feel like they handle it pretty well here. You do have some... They still have some of the racial benefits. But, no race is inherently evil. All that good stuff is kind of taken care of here. So, good. Does anyone know... Because the only person whose race I know is Beast Boy, Kian.
That's not.
Oh,
that's
and
not
Gary.
gonna be my name.
Gary's also... Gary, you're an elf? Are you full-blooded or half-blooded?
I'm full-blooded, like, Fey elf. So, I mean, like, I'm as high elven, weird elven as you can get. I'm on the far weird side of things.
In D&D terms, you are an Eladrin.
That is correct.
Yep.
Just for anyone who has that frame of reference, that is what he's describing. They
And
are the
for
elves
those
that are Fey.
Skyrim fans out there, I'm an Altmer.
You think so?
Boo, Altmer.
Oh, you're
Boo,
a-
Altmer! Boo! Boo, Altmer!
Eladrin,
No, the high elf.
Altmer.
The high elf.
Yeah, Altmer's are the high elves. Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Bosmer. Shout out to Bosmer.
Bosmer!
Yeah,
Wood elf! Oh.
Since I'm the son of an emperor of the Sun Court, I probably have that golden elven skin too.
And I am okay with, like if it doesn't say something that you need for your character to make sense to you, like, that's fine.
So I'm glad you brought that up. I filled this in
Okay.
without asking you, but always ask your game master if you can fill things in. I'm looking at when you're an elf, you get a focus, intelligence focus, natural lore. So I changed mine to Fey lore since I'm going to be from the Fey in this setting. Is that cool with you?
That is copacetic, but I feel like they go hand in hand. But yes, that's fine.
Nope.
The
had
one
to
thing I
learn
might...
all natural history in Fey school.
The one thing I might suggest, Johannan, one of the options at base default, as I'm sure you're aware, you would roll your racial cool thing in your background cool thing, whatever your random status is. However, in Fantasy Age, page 18, they give suggestions for giving out basically 4 advancement points, and you can pick and choose. So if you wanted to be a noble, let's say, you don't have to roll for it. You're like, no, I'm going to spend some points so I get my noble cool thing.
Okay.
Because otherwise, at default, you roll on what your
Gotcha.
racial is and what your background is. So you might not get noble. You might get your upper class. Well, you can be upper class something.
Essentially,
you roll Outlander.
So you're asking me if I want to use this optional rule. I think probably. It sounds pretty reasonable. If you use this option for buying abilities, you may want to apply the same kind of system to race and background, but if it's totally custom character. So you have 4 advancements. So you get to pick 4 things off the table?
So if it's a thing like a focus, it just costs 1. If it affects your stats, it costs 2.
Okay.
And you buy it off of your race, and your species and your
Background.
God.
Oh, you share the points between the 2.
Yep.
Excellent. That's fair. I understand how that works. That's good. All right.
Because focuses are easy. It's the stat boost, or like that's why it's worth 2. Because like that's a huge deal.
That
to
is
be
a
able to
huge
increase one of
deal.
your stat numbers, which will really matter because I think for if casualty, if you're shooting for a sword mage, you need willpower 2+ and accuracy or fighting 2+. If you're doing a sword guy, you want fighter. So you need fighting 2, make willpower 2. If you don't already have that, then finding some way to increase that here would be ideal. But we don't have to worry about hitting our spec until like level 4.
I was
so we have a
looking
few
at
levels
some of
before
the-
you have to sweat it.
I was looking at some of the build stuff, and the way I'm thinking for my character is that the sword has the magic, sort of similar to your character in the superhero campaign, where your items have the magic. So I'll probably build Rogue in the beginning, and then, like Jahan said, later get the aspect to get into magic, and the sword will become more powerful. And,
Oh,
and
I
do
see what you're
more.
doing. Yeah, Arcane Diablo's way easier to get. Way easier.
I like it.
I think that's what I'm gonna try to do.
So for those of you that don't speak nerd, please.
What are you even doing here if you don't speak nerd?
No, all are welcome. For those of you who are introduction, this is Nerd 101. So yeah, you can
We'll
essentially.
teach you, nerd.
It just gives you more customizability because otherwise you're going to be like, maybe I get +1 communication. Why do I want that if I'm an introvert? You know, I don't know. Stuff like that. It stops that from happening. Also, like, what if you rolled bows, like, and you don't want to use bow? That's quite the thing to roll on accident.
It's
So-
really good. I find the default like random build is if you're like, I have no idea. What are we all playing, guys? Roll and you'll find out. You're
Yeah.
playing whatever the dice tell you, which that's a way to play, and it's fine. I've ran games like that. It's interesting, but really disappointing if you had a very particular build in mind.
Yeah, I enjoy dealing with what I'm dealt, roleplay wise.
Mm.
Yeah, it feels good to me. But yeah, so we have one beast person. We have one elf. What about
Well, I'm
the
already-
other three?
Go ahead.
I'm just a normal dude.
You're a human?
That's right.
Most
Normal
excellent.
gnome.
You're a gnome? Oh.
I'm an orc. I was just making fun.
All right, you're an orc. Okay, that's right. Aaron,
Normal no.
have you decided on a species?
Yes. I'm just going to be a human.
Nothing wrong with
Good
that.
old fashioned human.
The only race doubling up is human. That's a good. I
Also-
like that mix.
Also, both paladins.
Oh,
Cleric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
they're gonna go
Up with humans
indoctrinate.
running around. Go. That's right.
That's right.
We're here
We
to
got-
spread the good word.
We got the heels.
Our race has only been around for a millennia, but we're gonna tell you how to.
I can tell you all about it.
Tell you right now, your false gods will not stand here.
Can I get it? I'm not. But yeah,
Always
so
wanted to play
we'll do
magic.
human as the example since two of you are playing human. If you choose to play human, modify your character in the following ways. You get a straight up +1 to your fighting ability.
Gamma World. That's what it was,
Damn.
Thomas. In Gamma World, I played a cleric named New Jesus.
Oh,
And
jeez.
he walked around and told everybody that he was the prophet now. And he had a giant cross on his back that he would take off and disassemble with engineering checks and turn it into different useful things to help people in the desert and then claim it was a miracle. Yeah, he had a really huge brain, like a freak monster guy, and he was like a really pale, disheveled, like mind control guy. He was great. It was a lot of fun to play. Gamma World's a blast.
Gamma
It was
It
World.
like
does sound
a-
like Gamma World.
It was like a
man.
sunburned Nosferatu claiming to be the third coming.
I have got to draw this guy.
And it was new with a U, New Jesus.
Oh
of
no.
course.
Oh no!
Oh dear.
They
He's the-
have the two dots above the
Yes, it had the umlaut. Thank you for asking.
He's the corn of Jesus.
Like
Did-
mixed with the guy from The Stand that's all melted from the radiation and from being out in the desert for weeks.
Trash can man.
Yeah, the trash can man.
Oh,
Oh boy!
Freak on a cross.
Back to back to Fantasy Age, and
automatically
away
get a +1 to fighting for humans. What else do we get?
away from getting us targeted by hate groups. Let's.
Ability focused.
Yeah, so you get fighting ability increased, so your fighting stat as a human is just better, because humans apparently like to fight. Then you get to pick one of the following abilities. You can either choose riding or swimming. All humans can do one of those things, which is cool. Riding is animal back riding. And I'd imagine it probably pertains to like coaches too, but there might be a drive skill. Your
My dad's got a
speed.
Sailor background, so swimming, I think.
Yeah, swimming might be. Hey, some sailors can't swim, so. Your speed is equal to 10 plus your dex mod minus armor penalties if applicable. So whatever your dexterity is plus 10 is how fast you are. But we are playing Theater of the Mind, so it's kind of like, maybe I'll be like, are you faster than it? You can speak and read the common tongue. And then the other thing is roll twice on the human benefits, which you are allowed to do if you choose. If you get the same result twice, you get a reroll till you get something different.
Is there a reason we wouldn't do that?
No.
Well, if you're doing the advancement thing, you don't roll because that's when because if you roll there, then the advancement points. Then for background, you would random roll.
Yes.
What social status you are.
Yes.
Because advancement points is split
Yeah.
between your race and your background. But if you're like, I don't care what my background is, then you can roll all of it.
Yeah, if you want, and also if you roll, you do have a chance of getting 2 ability advancements as opposed to them costing more. But yeah, so if you want a focus, it costs 1 point. If you want a attribute, it costs 2 from that little table. But it's also going to spend those 4 points on backgrounds.
Usually, and all the backgrounds have are just 2 focuses. So
yeah,
the expensive bit is your species powers.
Oh, okay, that's easy. Okay.
Yeah.
They are just okay. Oh, somebody rolled something.
That was me.
Thomas rolled 2d6. So you got a 7 and a 10.
And a 10.
So you get +1 to your Constitution and Focus, Accuracy, Brawling. So you have more con and you can brawl better. You're better at hitting with your fists now.
That goes under what?
That goes under. Oh yeah. So if you haven't used this character sheet before.
Yep, I got it though.
Okay, you got it. Okay, cool. There's a spot to like type them in that makes it an actual like rollable, clickable thing.
Swimming and brawling. That's what I'm here to do.
That makes sense. Makes sense. You also got +1 to your con and +1 to your fighting.
And I added those in already.
Cool.
And I believe you wanted to be a sailor, right?
Yeah, that's the background. That's correct.
There is sailor and there's also pirate. You want to be more sailor, huh?
I mean, my little guy, my avatar already has an eye patch, so I feel like we should just lean right into pirate.
Lots of people have eye patches.
What? Someone else has an eye patch?
No,
You
just in
lose your eye in a
general.
fight.
Oh, I thought you were. I was just waiting. Yes, the other human paladin also has an eye patch.
Oh. Yarg. But yeah, so sailor can choose between Constitution drinking and Dexterity sailing. Pirate can choose between Dexterity sailing and Strength intimidation.
Go with that one.
Which one do you want, sailing or intimidation?
Strength intimidation.
All right.
I don't know how much. What type of? Is this a seafaring campaign? Are we going to be bopping around islands? I haven't seen a map or anything.
That will be a question I will ask you guys further down the line here.
The answer to this is contingent upon.
That's fine. You can come back to it.
I'll revisit it.
But yeah, so that's your entire race bonus and all that stuff. It's pretty quick. It's pretty simple. Find yours. Look at the table. If you have a question, feel free to ask. I think that Keon's gets kind of wonky.
Well, because I'm doing something that they didn't really like. There's no fish person thing, so I don't know what I need to do differently. You said we can make accommodations for like things that would make sense. It would make sense for me to breathe underwater, but also the specialization I want to do marked. One of the things you can choose is to breathe underwater. So I'm like,
you would fall under like amphibian.
Yeah, amphibian would be pretty
I
good.
guess if I'm breathing on land, I gotta be right.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. But then it's
Feel
just
like a
hold breath.
mudfish. Yep. Here, we just got that lung. All right, I'm
You can
Well,
hold
I
your
suppose
breath.
Actually, you're right. It would fall under other, so you would choose 2
Yeah.
benefits, which you could just be able to breathe underwater if the GM's cool with it.
Yeah, because the other option is hold breath, and I just don't think you cannot breathe underwater makes sense for a fish person.
It's past your bedtime, buddy. Come on.
I'll allow you to change your hold breath and strength climbing focus for water breathing. That's okay. Since it's so crucial to your character, I'm fine with that.
Hold breath and strength and what? So what do I?
Strength climbing focus that you get from that. So you won't be good at climbing because you're a fish.
Fine.
I feel like that makes
way
sense.
More sense. Yeah, it makes a ton of sense.
Yep.
Thanks, bud.
Yeah. I'm cool with it. I'll work with you. If you really want to be a fish person, that bad. I'm like,
I want to be a fish person.
fine. Yeah, exactly. I'm here for you, man. I feel you. I'm here for you, brother. But yeah, so that's how you do that. Then,
Are you always gonna smell like this?
backgrounds you can roll, but if you have one that you want, I don't want to force you guys to be like, oh no, I'm a farmer. Like, I don't want. If you want to roll, feel free. Otherwise, you can pick from the backgrounds on page 16. I do believe there might be some more in the companion.
There are more backgrounds in the companion.
So the background groups of the companion are arcane, commoner, criminal, guild, military, noble, outlander, and religious.
So I went noble off of this one, and based on my lore, I went ambassador since I'm serving the Night Court from the Sun Court.
I like it.
And for my lore, I could pick arcane or something, or history. And I picked history of the mortal realm so that I would study before I went amongst that realm to the regular plane.
All very cool choices. I like it.
Thomas went pirate, right?
Correct.
So maybe even though I was raised by pirates, I'll take exile because I'm like not with the clan anymore. Got these,
You do you? Yeah, that sounds good to me too. Sounds good. But yeah, if you need any help picking those things, let me know. Otherwise, don't let me know.
Keon and I roll to see if we know each other.
You guys can just know each other. That's fine.
But like, is it cool?
Yeah,
Yeah.
literally step 9 of character creation is pick goals and character ties.
Yeah, you're actually supposed to do it.
Okay.
So
We're all supposed to be connected to each other in some
Feel-
way.
in some
I feel
way.
like that one speaks to us right there. We have swim,
Here's the fun part:
or I taught him.
classes. Characters are going to be starting at level 1. You are novice adventurers. As you complete adventures and gain experience, they'll go up in level and get access to new powers.
My favorite thing about classes is we can all see better.
Yeah.
Hey,
Nope.
there he is.
I have prescription classes. Yes. There are 20 levels, FYI. So you can go all the way up to level 20, which I did not know until just now. That's pretty cool. That's high. So this
Is
is
it not
the.
that high in modern age?
I don't know.
Oh, it doesn't do the level thing. Okay.
They do have levels, but I haven't looked at the cap.
Oh.
What level are you guys, Gary? Like 6? 5 or 6?
No, I think we're level 4.
Okay. You're about to be level 5 probably, though.
Yes, that sounds right. And I don't think modern age goes to 20.
Oh.
I don't think it does.
I don't know if it stops. Because there aren't classes in
Right.
Modern Age.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
probably why. Right
Yeah.
there.
This is the main difference that I can see between this game and every other age. Because the Expanse and Modern Age neither have classes.
In just a little insight, Dragon Age initially had like the first 5 levels in the first book. Then they released the second book, which did levels 6 up to 10, and then the last book did 11 to 20.
That's
So
high.
there was they slowly phased in the level. So at first you can only play level 1 to 5. Once you hit 5, that was it. There's no more. They very slowly phased it in for I think it was for the release of Inquisition.
That's pretty cool.
So Fantasy Age just said, here, you're just 1 to 20, go. You know?
There are only 3 classes, but they are pretty broad. The class descriptions are going to contain primary attributes to let you kind of know what the class focuses on, secondary abilities, primary abilities and secondary abilities, starting health, and what weapon groups you have, and what class powers you get. The first one, Mage.
You.
Mage's primary attributes are accuracy, intelligence, perception, and willpower. Secondary, I'm going to go over all of them since there's only 3. Secondary abilities, communication, constitution, dexterity, fighting, and strength. So everything else, I guess, will be the secondary. Starting health is 20 plus con plus 1d6. And then you start with the weapon groups of brawling and staves. You just went ahead and I gotcha, because you're your mage.
Well, it's the same on Rogue. It's just instead of being 20 plus, it's 25 plus. So I was reading along with you, and either way, I rolled a fantastic 1 for my extra health, and I'm stoked.
Yeah, it's fun. I love dice. So the class powers mages start with. You have the ability Arcane Blast. If you're holding an arcane device, you can make a special ranged attack that damages foes with a blast of magical energy. This is resolved like a normal ranged attack, so stunts are possible. But the attack roll is an accuracy test. An arcane blast has a range of 16 yards and inflicts 1d6 willpower. It requires no magic points to make this attack. So this is essentially your cantrip. Everybody get Eldritch Blast for everybody. Look under your chair. You get an Eldritch. Yeah, that's pretty much how they're doing this. Arcane Device is your second ability. Each mage has an arcane device through which they can focus magical energy. Its primary use, the channeling of Arcane Blast, but it can be used with certain spells as well. The exact nature of the device differs from mage to mage. It could be a staff, wand, holy symbol, amulet. You should decide what form your arcane device takes when you make your character. If you lose your arcane device, you can attune a new one by spending 1 hour and 5 magic points to do so. Magic training. This is the most important of the mage's powers. It allows a mage to cast spells that are the hallmark of the class. You begin with 2 magic talents, which will grant you 4 spells. And we'll get more into that later. There are magic talents like air, wind, fire, earth, shadow. They get pretty into it. In the companion, there's like enchantment and illusion and all this other stuff. The way spells work in this, you're going to have the ability of 2 of those groups of spells. And then as you level up, you can turn it from like novice air to master air and expert air. And you unlock more spells that way. They do use a mana system in this game. Magic points. You use magic points to power your spells. You start with a number of magic points equal to 10 plus willpower plus 1d6. You must keep track of your current magic points. This is a measure of how much magical power is at your command at any given time. You spend magic points when you cast spells. You regain them through rest and meditation. And you also get a starting talent. You become a novice in one of the following. Chirurgy, linguistics, or lore. Lore, not lure.
Lure.
Lure of the planet Omicron Persei 8.
Can I have lure and chirurgy, please?
You can have one of them.
If you're trained in lure, you're real good at fishing.
It's lure, darn you.
But yeah, and then you get a little something from your class every time you level. So it does add, but it is not your end-all be-all. You will have other things that really will shape you. Mostly talents. Yeah, so that's the mage.
And the only note I'll say for mages is that the scary thing with mages is that everyone else in fighting, when we hit stuff, generally we're hitting its armor. And we have to worry about armor and defense and stuff like that. Mages have spells that can go, penetrating.
Yeah.
What armor? It's like, oh. So mages are scary if they do damage.
Mages are the best.
Yeah, they're scary and they're right.
I'm an always play wizards kind of person.
Aaron, are you taking lore?
I'm actually going to take chirurgy.
Nice.
Healing.
Surgeon. You'd be doing some doctoring,
Oh, is that what that is?
It's
Okay.
lore.
Yeah.
Yep, that'll be the doctrine.
Because if I remember, novice TRG, you can do healing as a minor instead of a major action, which is
Yeah.
that's
Nice.
the difference between someone dying and someone living, right there.
Big time, yeah. So Rogue, for those of you who choose this way, your primaries are accuracy, communication, dexterity, perception. Starting health's 25 plus con plus 1d6. Gary.
Hey, real quick, I just want to see how everybody's going because mine can go rogue or warrior, so I'm not as.
You don't have to pick right now. I'll read them.
Okay, I'm just curious. What.
That's where I rolled my 1 right there, John. You see
Yeah,
my
I know.
1? There it is.
Yeah, I saw it. That's why I mocked you. Weapon groups. Rogues can do brawling, light blades, staves, and either black powder or bows. So that's pretty fun.
I'll definitely be taking black powder.
Class powers. You have pinpoint attack, rogue's armor, and starting talent. Pinpoint attack once per round. You can add a d6 to a damage of a successful attack. Essentially your sneak attack. Rogue's armor. You're at home in leather armor. You can ignore armor penalty of leather armor altogether. It affects neither your speed nor dexterity. And then starting talents. You get to choose one of the following: contacts, scouting, or thievery, which really change your character. Yeah. Rogue was a lot quicker than mage.
Yeah, just quick insight for me. I'm definitely gonna go scouting because I'm more of a hunter rogue than anything.
Yeah.
So let's say connections or thievery type. Leather armor's gonna be awesome. Pinpoint attack for a shooter is amazing. I really should look at my dexterity now that you reminded me about it. 'Cause, I need that to not suck.
Accuracy will be more important to you.
I don't want to also take scouting, because I don't want to take the same thing in our party, but I like scouting of that list. I don't want to be a thief, and I don't think I want a bunch of contacts on the mortal plane either.
Well, actually, what I could do then, if you, because I forgot you were going rogue. I could probably go. You can do a scouting, and I could probably go contacts through the lens of I've met people that I've helped along the way. It's not like it's not that I'm connected. It's just I've wandered around long enough that it's like, oh, I know a guy. Where from? I helped him with a thing. It's nothing big.
If you
There's
guys
a boar attacking him. It's fine.
also, if you guys see something that might be more applicable,
We can also both go scouting if we want, but it does give you like advantage on stealth checks. That's what the
the
physical
big
thing
yeah.
of it is. Yeah.
nothing wrong with both of you having that. But yeah, that's up to you guys totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Warrior.
Yeah.
Primary abilities: Constitution, Dex, Fighting, and Strength. Starting health 30 plus con plus 1d6. Weapon groups: Brawling plus any 3 of the following: axes, black powder, bludgeons, bows, heavy blades, light blades, spears, or staves. So you get to build your own warrior, which is sick. Your powers. Warriors gain the following powers. Starting talent. You may become a novice in 2 of the following talents: archery style, dual weapon style, pole weapon style, single weapon style, throwing weapon style, two-hander style, unarmored style, weapon and shield style. You also start as a novice in armor training. So you don't get a lot of like usable powers, but you are going to get 2 fighting styles and novice armor training so it's pretty sick. For those of you planning on casting magic eventually, keep in mind, armor will make every spell you cast cost more magic points. That's the burn back. It's harder for you to channel. It's harder for you to draw energy from around you, but you can still
Makes
do it.
sense.
If you want to be a full plate person and like drop like a fat spell every now and again, it's not really that big of a deal. You know,
It's like if you're in plate mail, it costs like 6 extra mana on top.
costs
of
like
whatever
6
you're doing.
extra.
So you're like, you cast one spell. That's my spell for the day. Sorry guys, I'm a
Yeah.
plate. What do you want me to do?
Which that's a whole playstyle, you know.
Yeah.
It's true.
Very cool. Sometimes you only need 1 spell a day.
Yeah. Well, the only thing I might add on, this is for world building later, but For mages, at least what they did in Dragon Age, the Fantasy Age doesn't have this natively, but you could have it like be a magic item thing. Like it's like, well, you get strain from armor unless it's a magical doohickey that lets you do otherwise, and that can be like a thing they can achieve later.
Oh yeah,
if you want to have that the armored mage types archetype.
And like I was reading the styles of DMs earlier, and there's the adversarial, which is bad usually.
Hey,
I am me. And then there's the director, but I'm the third one. I forget what it is, but I'm the friendly one, so I'll work with you. I'll still kill you though.
I see how it's Johanna now. Call me out.
I'm a nice guy. Let me see. Got lost in the book here. But so specializations, you don't pick these now. Okay?
No, that's level 4.
Yeah, you're gonna pick these at level 4, and this is where you'll all diverge. But it's a good thing to look at now to see where you want to go. I'll actually go to the index so I can just read them off. Arcane Scholar, Assassin, Berserker, Duelist, Elementalist, Guardian, Knight, Mage Hunter, Miracle Worker, Sharpshooter, Swashbuckler, Sword Mage. Those are the specializations in the main book. But I am fine with you taking them from the companion as well. And that goes for magic spells and arcanas as well, for those of you who can do so. Specializations in this book: Arcane Dabbler, which rogue or warrior can be; Bard, Beastmaster, Champion, Commander, Delver, Diplomat, Gangster, Gladiator, Gunfighter, Hunter, Marked. I don't know what that is. That sounds cool. Martial Artist, Necromancer, hell yeah. Outrider, Paladin, Pirate, Razor, just straight up called a Razor, Seer, Slayer, Soulbound, Spy, and Totem Warrior.
It's tough, man. There's a lot of very cool options in that
It's
second book.
Yeah.
But the important part to note is if you have one that you want to shoot for, make sure you're the right class. Because I'll give you an example. Assassins. That's only rogues. Which I kind of disagree with.
Warrior.
And then Arcade Scholar, only mage. Berserker, only warrior, yeah. Duelist, rogue. Elementalist, mage. Some of them can be multiples. A lot of the ones...
Anyone.
Yeah, a lot of the ones in the core book, like Mage Hunter's a warrior, which I didn't know. Sharpshooter's only rogues. Miracle Worker, mage. Oh wow! All the ones in the core book are for a specific class. None of them diverge. However,
So a lot of ones from the core book come from are translations of what they had in Dragon Age. And
That makes sense.
Companions expansion. They said, well, here's other cool things we hear from other fantasy games. It's our game. We'll just translate into Dragon Age, into Fantasy Age.
yeah, this one has a
Nice.
lot of like the Bard could be any class. Arcane Dabbler, warrior or rogue. Beastmaster, any class. That's right.
Beastmaster used to be only rogue in Dragon Age. Bard used to be only rogue in Dragon Age, for example.
I got one that'll throw you for a loop. Totem Warrior can be a fighter or a rogue.
That's pretty cool.
That
Total
is
Warrior's
cool.
kind of neat.
Diplomat, any class. Commander, any class. Delver,
Pirate.
any
Pirate,
class.
Any class.
Yeah, pirate, any class.
I'm just
Mage
pulling it-
pirate, that's an image right there. Yar, firebolt.
What's gonna happen?
My bird, your ship's down. You want to steal the gold? Nah.
The marked or tattooed warriors. It's interesting.
Yeah. That's the one I was looking at, but I
Warrior or
check out
rogue.
some of the others.
Martial artist, only rogue. I disagree with that. I feel like a fighter warrior could do that, but that's okay. Necromancer. That's me. That's what I'm playing. But yeah, so those are what you're going to be picking from. Just kind of keep that in mind as we're going forward.
I'm probably going Hunter, and casually, I think you're probably going Arcane Dabbler.
Man, after looking again, I might have to switch to Mage.
And go sword mage.
I actually like the way that Seer looks.
Ooh.
Cedar's pretty
What
good.
I'm looking at right now too.
Cedar's pretty good.
I was just looking at that.
It's funny.
That's basically your character from Wildsea.
And the
do-
Fate talent school for magic is spooky because it's nothing that's direct. It's lots of messing with other people's dice and messing with your own dice. It's like
Very cool.
what? It's like it's a lot of thinking on the meta level, which
Nice.
is interesting way to play.
Yeah, I agree. It is interesting. It almost takes it puts the game mechanics at the forefront, so it kind of takes you out of the game and puts you in a really strange spot as a player. But it also gives you that feeling of trickery and tomfoolery, so I guess I get it.
The Soulbound is literally a warlock. FYI.
Yeah.
That,
Soulbound's 100%
Soulbound
warlock.
is a Dungeons and Dragons warlock. Just FYI. But yeah, so those are things you can think about. You have to level 4 to pick that, but make sure you have the right class if you're going a specific way. I'm also not
We'll have
opposed.
a chance to tweak our guys at level 2, level 3. We'll be able to mess with stuff.
I'm not opposed to like fudging something if it makes sense.
Like martial arts warrior, you
Yeah.
probably be like whatever. I'm actually surprised that isn't rogue fighter. I'm like, because I understand something like some classes are like, I see why that's rogue, and a warrior would suck at it because nothing jumps.
Yeah.
That's like, why would a martial
Why would a
artist-
martial artist? Yeah. Why would a warrior not be a good martial artist?
like mage
Exactly.
martial artists? I get it. Mages generally aren't good at the whole punching kicking thing. Please don't get in frontline combat, Mr. Mage. You're squishy.
Ah man.
Pirate mage is.
Pirate mage.
Pirate
Mage.
mage can fight.
I've actually done the
this is a
pirate
very
mage.
strange build, but I'm going with it.
Hell yeah. So you guys kind of have an understanding of the basics and where you're going. Yeah. After that's going to be starting equipment. But before we get to that, we're right about the halfway point. So we're going to go ahead and take a little break. It's hard to do a cliffhanger when you're building characters. But
How do we know each other?
thanks everyone for watching so far. We will be BRB. Hey there, everybody! Welcome back to Fresh Out the Box in our session 0 of Fantasy Age from Green Run Publishing. I'm still Jahanan.
Hey y'all, Thomas Avenger down here in Houston, Texas, voice actor, teacher, artist extraordinaire. Excited to finish building this pirate mage.
The shift is real. I'm AD Springer, also known as Corbinian, a variety video game Twitch streamer and tabletop role-playing game streamer. And I have managed to stay the course and stay an orc, rogue, arquebusier. I forget what I was.
Nice. I'm Erin Baumier, Erin Dippity Doo online, and I'm a developer with Adventure Sling Productions and co-host of the Adventure Sling podcast, continuing my classic cleric build.
It's me, Casualty CDG, and even though I'm usually second, I was late today, which puts me at the end of the introduction order. Why do I like that? I get to go as long as I want before we start again. I'm a retired child crimes and human trafficking detective turned tabletop titan and improv comedian. I came in wanting to play an elven warlock, and then surprise, I went rogue. And then I read class specializations, and now I'm a mage again.
Yeah, you know, it's me. My name's Keon. I make music. I wonder if you can figure out how to spell my first name on any platform, but that's up to you to figure it out.
K-I-Y-A-N.
You missed a letter.
A-H, you missed the okay. K-I-Y, always hate Nazis. That's how you spell it. And I'm playing. Thank you. And I'm playing a fish person.
Guillermo del Toro fantasy.
Oh, hey, Keon.
What's up?
Yeah, so we're actually pretty close to the end of the character creation itself. I know that you probably don't all have your character sheets fully formed. It's fine. You know, we'll go over it in the week to come. But I'm just going to run over everything so that you have a frame of reference when you're looking at the book. Starting equipment. Characters begin play simply with the following. A backpack, traveler's garb, and a water skin. If you're a mage, you get one weapon and an arcane device. If you're a rogue, you get light leather armor and 2 weapons. If you are a warrior, you get heavy leather armor and 3 weapons. If you chose a bow or crossbow, you get a quiver and 20 arrows or bolts. And if you have the weapon and shield talent, you get a medium shield. So you get what you built, pretty much. And if you need some weird knick-knack or paddywhack to make your character whole, let me know. It's okay. Make sure you pick weapons from weapon groups your character knows. Otherwise, you'll suffer penalties when you wield them. Yeah. Also remember that some weapons have a minimum strength requirement. So be sure your character is strong enough before picking something, like a 2-handed sword. You'll also want to write down your armor rating on your character sheet. It's going to measure your protection. Armor is more... If it's just like Modern Age, it's damage reduction.
Yep.
Defense is how hard you are to hit.
Yep.
So armor actually reduces armor. I feel like it goes further that way, honestly. But yeah. So starting money. This is based on your background. So whatever your social class is, outsider, lower class, middle class, upper class. You get 15, 25, 50, or 100 silver pieces, plus 3d6. And it's that simple. Your defense is going to be 10 plus dexterity, plus, if applicable, shield bonus. That's it. This character's starting equipment. That's the easiest I've ever seen it done. I didn't have to watch someone micromanage 100 ball bearings and 10 pieces of chalk. That was kind of nice. If you have chalk, though, you can tell me. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
I actually do have chalk. I was about to say.
Yeah, you can have chalk if you want to. I'm not going to say no to chalk.
I have a lot of ball bearings.
That's okay. You want to have some ball bearings. Yeah, the last of this is going to be names. That's, in your own time, come up with a name. If you have one, feel free to introduce your character now. Anybody? I believe Thomas had one.
Edmund Brightshield.
That's right.
Although that was when he was going to be a paladin, so that's probably going to have to change to a more piratey name.
That is totally fine.
Edwin Brightbeard.
Brightbeard.
Nice.
Well played. So now this part is going to be slightly more involved. This is a collective thing. Goals and ties. Your character's almost ready to go. Before you jump into your first adventure, take a few minutes to think about your character's goals and what ties you might have to other characters in the group. Even if you've made your character on your own, it's a good idea to take these steps together. So goals. Your character can have any number of goals, but try to come up with at least 3. Goals usually have something to do with why your character became an adventurer in the first place. It's not a common calling after all. It's certainly not a safe one. These driving forces often translate into one or more goals. When you're making your list, try to come up with a mix of short and long-term goals. Short-term goals are things you want to focus on now. Long-term goals are of a size and scope that may require years or even decades of struggle. A good GM, which I don't know, maybe I am, will take your goals into account when running the game. I'll try. I'll definitely try. So what makes a good goal? 2 things. First, a good goal should help define your character by making explicit what is important. Second, it should provide story hooks that other players and the GM can grab and use and play. So this is important. I don't want you guys to underplay this importance here. This is you letting me know how to interest your character and to definitely a certain extent you. So what kind of things do you want me to pull on to get you to be interested in the story, in situations, that kind of thing? And you do not have to come up with 3 right now off the cuff. That's
Sea travel?
I mean, that's the thing you do.
Sailing?
I mean, to set sail or to have your own boat could be, or to crew for a specific pirate, or to
finding a certain pirate's treasure, like a legendary pirate's treasure.
Like those are good. Those are all good goals. Sailing in general is not really a goal. I mean, you can just do that. But
2 silver, I'll take you sailing. Woo! Life goal achieved. You sure? It's 2 silver, man. It's not that big a deal.
Boom. Ties. So the classic RPG setup has the group meeting up in a tavern and embarking on a series of death-defying quests together. By the way, I'm reading from the book. Those of you at home, this is all in the Fantasy Age core rulebook. That sort of approach can work if you are developing the characters as the campaign goes on. The group's cohesion will be stronger. However, if the characters start with some ties, cohesion will be better. It doesn't mean that all the characters need to know each other before play begins, but they should have some connections between them. So your character doesn't have to be connected to each member, but 1 or 2 connections is a good thing. It just kind of helps solidify the group dynamic. Characters might have grown up in the same village, served in the same military unit, or been romantic rivals. Or maybe they are distant cousins, chased by a shared enemy, or in debt to the same underworld figure. And these are all pretty much completely up to you guys. You could talk amongst yourselves about what you want. We do have the chat during the week if you need to flesh some of this out. Not stuff you have to come up with off the cuff, though. I know not everybody is good at improvising. It's a hard thing to do.
If Vampire Bites is watching, this is their opportunity to make something into canon.
Now's your chance.
Vampire Bites. Vampire Bites does funny stuff. Forge in the Dark System has a really cool loaded dice.
I like the treasure. I feel like the treasure's got some potential for the party.
Treasure?
What was that again? Sorry.
It was like one of y'all earlier said treasure. I like that as a potential party grabbing thing.
Yeah. So the goals are individual. So if you have a goal to
My
find,
bad. I keep jumping ahead to things we want included in the world.
yes,
So
we're
we need
about
to-
we're about to do that. We're about
Keep
to do
jumping
that.
ahead.
Can I just share? Are we gonna share all of? I can share mine.
Oh, if you have your goals, feel free.
Yeah, I don't think I'm particularly proud of the pirate past. They saved my life. I was saved by a kind pirate, one of the good ones, and most of them were pretty bad, and I did some pretty bad things. And I'm not proud of that life, so I'm not. It's not really related to pirating. My goals are more like I want to figure out. I have very fleeting memories of this Atlantean thing. I want to remember more about that. I want to know more about this like chthonic magic shit, and like. I want to hunt some monsters. Man, you know me. I've been playing all the Souls games and reading Berserk. I want to kill big monsters and I want cool weapons.
I also want to do that.
So your goals are tied to the loss of your civilization to otherworldly, deep beings.
Yeah, to whatever happened, I just slapped my microphone.
And
sorry.
for what it's worth, I did choose lore and seafaring under that, so I feel like those tie together also.
Yeah. I know I at least got shit with Thomas's character, so that works.
You guys
So-
have some pretty
so
easy
connection.
tying. Yeah, so none of you have to know each other or like come up with that stuff right now. But if you have them, let me know. But that's pretty much it. Your characters are essentially made. You now we gotta get into the other stuff, the stuff that I really find enjoyable, and stuff that I need to know in order to like flesh out the world. I have a few ideas already, but I don't have anything cemented. So when it comes to the game, I was thinking about maybe doing like on a scale of 1 to 10. You know what I mean? And then maybe average that out. But I don't think I like that. So, what kind of game are you guys looking for here? There are, there's the classic Lord of the Rings, going on a journey, like to a destination kind of journey adventure, right? There are, a game more focused on a single city. Is also a thing, with its own advantages and disadvantages. Do you want like a centric story to a location, or do you want to travel across the world for a specific reason? Do you want a game of political intrigue? And I ask these questions because like not everybody's gonna like everything. Some people don't want to do fantasy politics. Some people really, really do.
So I do like the sort of idea of some kind of intrigue, just because my character will be trying to kill the dreams of tyrants, right? That's one of my goals. So I have to be sneaking into castles and fighting people's dreams. I see that being a thing that I need to do.
Okay.
I always love when things tie back up to the top. I think that gives you the power to do a lot of crazy stuff,
So you guys do
I'm
want...
also interested in intrigue. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm intrigued.
And then on that same front, since I am also going to be trying to help heroes clear their minds or fight their nightmares, I see an adventure where we're moving to different locations, not just based in one city.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be cool, but definitely wanted to do multiple locations. I see the appeal though. We could be like we could do like guards. We could be like the cops in a Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, sometimes I mean you could do that. You could be
Bad yeoman. What you gonna do? What you gonna do?
I could definitely see us doing. I did like the idea of island hopping a little bit because we do have 2 pirates as background, so it's like having me like if we do travel around, moving across the sea
Yeah.
for good chunks of it.
That opens up perfect the ability to establish
That would be
political intrigue knives in multiple places.
Yeah, definitely.
That's true.
Yeah, so I'm thinking of sort of, like Mediterranean Sea style map, with like a large body of water in the middle, and then like land masses all around, kind of lots of different, nations perhaps littering around.
So are you saying that accidentally after playing Wild Sea, we are now embarking upon the Wild Sea.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
Awesome.
It's not like Wild Sea ended on the highest note. Maybe we should redeem ourselves for what happened there.
I'm hoping
That's
for.
fair.
Well,
That's fair.
I'm hoping for some quality stuff out of this. But so yeah, you'd be surprised how often these games take to boats. Though people like them, it's enjoyable.
I mean, boats and you know what?
The last D&D game I ran. See, this is why I'm asking now, because the last D&D game I ran, I made a whole country, and then other countries on this continent, and gave them stories and stuff. Session 1, players headed to the coast and sailed off away from everything I drew and came up with, and never came back. So that's why I'm asking now. But yeah, so we're gonna have this island. There will be some islands. There's also gonna be a lot of continental stuff on the around.
The
there will be some. Yeah, there'll be mainlands. There'll be islands. There'll be seafaring. Yes.
The one thing I would like, just because I like the idea of hunting. One of the goals I had in mind was hunting a beast so big that no one of my tribe could counter me. And it's like, well, you're not strong. Well, did you capture this thing? Because I did. Here it is. Yes, I had help, but you didn't do it. We did. Screw you.
That ties very well with Keon's character.
Hell yeah.
Bring back the head of Cthulhu. But yeah, so big monster hunts. This is what I'm hearing from several people. Which, that's totally cool.
Ooh, sorry.
Just remember you asked for it. What was I going to ask? Oh yeah, so it definitely sounds like you guys want high fantasy. Which, totally cool, but some people don't like it. Everybody is interested in that, right? High fantasy?
Yeah, brother.
I actually usually don't like high fantasy, but yeah, this time I'm strapped in. I'm ready for it.
Hey, man.
The Fey realm. I want you to turn the horror up on the Fey realm to 9 out of 10.
Dude, we're all just a couple of hobbits hitting that halfling leaf, man.
I want the Fey realm to be nightmarish in ways.
Well, I mean, you know me. Everything I do
no.
devolves into horror. So just be ready.
Focus your Guillermo del Toro into the Fey realm. That's all I'm asking for.
Yes, something I should ask. How violent and death-ridden are you guys? How close to death do you guys want to get? How challenging do you want combat? That kind of thing. Because I've had people ask for different levels of that surprised me before. Some people don't want their character to really, be able to die or, that kind of thing.
I was actually thinking about this earlier today. I think my answer to this is I think it would be cool to have a high lethality, but also maybe there's a Deus Ex Machina waiting in the pocket more often if we're going to die more often.
Gotcha. So
I'd almost
okay.
I'd almost on that line. I mean, just to out my preference a bit, I am a you dead sort of thing. That which is super high lethal, and most people don't like doing that because that means your character's gone forever, and you have to make a whole new one. And in some systems, that's a pain in the neck, and you don't want to do that. But on the line of high lethality, but having a Deus Ex, we can kind of pull from some JRPG ideas where they're like, you die and you are dead until you get to a certain spot, certain special building that can revive people. It's like, well, we can bring them back, but you got to get to us for us to bring them back. Especially when we have at least one pal. Well, actually, we have a cleric. We have a religiously type, so we could tie that into the faith. That's why we keep going to those churches, because it's really important we keep those safe. That's how we bring back party members.
It could definitely be possible. I'm okay with that because we are, like I said, high fantasy. Everybody likes it. So it sounds like you guys want a partially lethal game, at least.
Yeah. I know I definitely want a challenge, especially since the first TTRPG I ever played was Wild Sea, and that was like more improv comedy than anything else past a certain point. So like, I want to actually like do the shit, you know?
Okay. So yeah, you guys will. I'll make sure you guys still, feel the magic and feel the heroism. But definitely, I'll bring the fear. Age is really good at that. I've discovered playing Modern Age. Modern Age, I've made some people freak out. That's fun. So, but yeah, no. So these are all very important things for me to know. I am writing it all down.
It's all chicken scratches there, folks. He's just lying to you. Don't worry about it.
What are some other questions? So we flesh out a lot of the important stuff here. Don't forget, you can, if you come up with a society or a guild or something you want to be a part of, or if you work for somebody, blah, 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 feel free to bring that up at any point. Even after session 1, we can add stuff.
I am an Oath of the Hunt paladin. In addition to being a pirate, I'm about taking up them monsters and hunting treasures, and I'll just wraps up nicely.
There's a lot of synergy happening, man.
Goals are to pull off one of the biggest heists of all time, which I feel like ties directly into what our group's doing with political intrigue devices. I just wham bam pull a Pirates 11 in there, and then destroying all those monsters out on the seas, because I do have a connection to my boys' people over there and don't like all this Cthulhu shit either. So, yeah.
I have a character request.
Okay.
If you could give me like 3 bad kings and 3 heroes to save, and then those 6 characters would honestly probably carry me through the campaign as side quests.
3 bad ruler types, 3 heroes.
And the heroes would be in need, and the rulers would be doing bad stuff that needs to be stopped. And so that can, if you ever hit a railroad or an impasse where you don't know what to do next, we could always fall back on one of those things, or just throw in one of those characters to mix it up.
Oh, I like it. Yeah, definitely. I added that to my NPC section. Let's see. So, yeah, this is good stuff. So now we've done a lot of the big stuff. The world's kind of taking shape here. It is going to be... It's not going to be Mediterranean like style or anything. It's going to be probably classic, fantasy style, and where it's very, what do you call it, Western European in nature.
If we have it Mediterranean style, does it come with tzatziki?
Maybe
with you.
Maybe. Away with you. Yes.
It definitely makes me want to bring back the Hector Adonis voice so much. I think I'm going to.
Can your character also be a voice actor so you can just do a bunch of...
There you go. That's playing to your strengths.
What's this crazy thing going on? We're in the Mediterranean.
He's a method voice actor.
Oh, God.
Months on end.
Not even a real pirate.
Hey,
he just plays one for
buddy.
the theater.
That'd be amazing.
That'd be pretty funny. I'd play the shit out of that game. So the next part, now that we have kind of like the bigger stuff knocked out, do you guys have any like requests? They're not guaranteed, but they're requests. The good examples are the monster hunts that you guys have been asking for and the heists. It sounds like you guys want some seafaring for sure, which is totally cool.
Yeah, if we
There
can
has to be like one like Dragon Age Inquisition ballroom intrigue scene. That would be pretty fun.
Yes, y'all handle the ballroom intrigue. We'll handle the heist going on in the meantime. Split the party.
Sounds
John
like a plan.
loves that.
Sounds like a party. It sounds like fun to me.
I like undercover stuff. That's fun.
Okay. Undercover.
Brothers undercover.
But yeah, this is good. Like any more stuff like that. I've had people ask for, I don't know why, but like they wanted to fight in the sewers or like have to battle robots. I've had people ask for weird
Can we
stuff.
get some trans-dimensional shit going on, since we got some big Fey guys over there?
Interesting.
That's where monsters coming from.
Welcome
We
to
gotta go
Cosmic
over there
Horror.
for the upside down and go get them.
I
For
can.
my beauty cloak to find beauty in all that horror.
Gary
Yeah,
pretty
yeah,
much
yeah.
guaranteed that that's going to happen with his character. So.
Does that make Jahan Eddie? He's the hot one of the season.
Yeah, that's the whole reason we started this show, because Jahan's the hot one of the season.
Yeah, the house of Fresh Out the Box is built upon my good looks. So
The whole reason
welcome.
we added Corbinian to this is because he's the hot one of the season.
See, that's the correct
The whole reason we have Thomas here is because for voice actors, he's the hot one of the season. The whole reason we have Erin is because she's just joined our cast and she's the hot one of the season.
Yeah.
The whole reason we have Keanu is because he's a musician, and as far as musicians go, he's the hot one of the season.
As far as musicians, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty low. It's pretty low down.
Yeah,
there.
well, I'm not even
Somewhere
the
bel-
co-host of the season, so
Episode 0, the hot one of the season.
There can only be one.
just a co-host, not even any nominated co-host, just a regular
You're
old
just-
co-host.
A
You can
co-host of the
yeah.
season.
Grammy-nominated co-host. Not sure how that worked, but
It's by
My
Shakira.
grandmother said I deserved it. Grammy nominated.
So I have heist, undercover, seafaring, monster hunting, ballroom intrigue, dimensional nonsense.
dimensional nonsense.
I just wrote dimensional.
That covers it.
Yeah, it about covers it. Yeah, if there's anything like that you guys are interested in seeing or that you might want me to work in, let me know. I'm totally down.
Ship to ship fight at some point.
Yeah, that's what it sounds. And since Blackfire is a thing, that means canon can be a thing. Very early canon, but still.
Sounds good. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, you other wizard types, mage types, what schools of magic did you pick?
That's a good question.
So actually, to clarify that, we get 2.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So
You get
then I
2
would've gone-
arcanas, which are essentially the schools, yeah.
Right. Okay. Yes, I would have gone healing, of course, but I also would have gone heroic.
Ooh, heroic's awesome.
That's cool.
Haven't gotten there.
It's very cool.
Healing will save our necks, literally.
I've gone enchantment and illusion, so I can make your weapons and armor better and also trick the bad guys.
Also very
What?
cool.
Action is that under?
That is under...
Is that on
Here, I'll
page
find it for you.
68, Arcana and spells.
Yes.
And the second book the has even more.
Yeah. Because they add more arcana as well.
This is
They
arcana
add
and
more
spells
and more arcana.
on page 68, and then, yeah, there is... Let me see. On the other book, page 32 has new spells for the existing arcana, and then page 42 has new arcana altogether. The way it works is you're going to pick 2 arcana, and each of those arcana is going to give you 2 starting spells. The new ones are interesting. I see that
So we'll have 4 spells total.
you'll have 4 spells total starting, yeah.
Yeah, basically 2 novice from each of the 2 arcana.
Okay.
Beast Arcana is one of the new ones. That's cool. Cold Arcana, Death Arcana, Enchantment, which Gary took. Very
Enchantment.
cool. Oh, and you also took Illusion, which is also... You took 2 new ones. Cool. Cool.
I mean, I think I have to go water. Right?
You can, yeah. That's definitely a choice. Also, I feel like air goes very well with a pirate.
Sailing, yeah.
There's also Protection and Psychic in the new book.
Air's
I
great
actually-
if you're worried about being in the doldrums. If we're without wind and you're in a sailboat, air mages are super helpful. It's like, I make the wind, buddy.
I feel like air mages would be in high demand on the sea.
Because nothing sucks more than being out in the middle of the ocean and having no wind. It's like, and we're kind of stuck here for now because we don't have oars. 'Cause
Also,
we have
I
sails. Why do we need paddles?
looked at Air Arcana earlier today, and it's sick. I like it.
I'm looking at it right now. I see wind net, wall of mist, air bubble, and whirlwind. Do any of those power a ship?
You are in the second book, I believe.
Oh, there's other air, double air.
Yeah, the first book is like the primary stuff. Protective Winds and Voice of the Wind are the 2 that you get. I don't think either of those would power a ship per se.
Oh, am I full of crap?
But Wind Blast would. which you get like the next level. So you'd be working that
What's
way.
a journeyman? Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Divination, Earth, those are all cool. Fire, that could be interesting. Healing, which is what Aaron took. And heroic. Heroic, I'm pretty interested in. It's like buffing.
Heroic's pretty cool.
Lightning. Could
I'm
be
excited
sick.
about that one.
I had a air genasi lightning sorcerer in D&D. That was fun. I was a pirate.
There's a theme here.
Power Arcana. It happens all the time. I'm telling you, people just like being on ships. Shadow Arcana, Water Arcana, and Wood Arcana. Yeah, those are your choices.
There's a lot.
Yeah, there's
Wood
a lot.
sounded really cool. I wanted to take like wood and shadow. I thought that would be cool for a fey creature. But since I kind of want the magic weapon and dream stuff, I went with illusions and enchantment. But it's the schools of magic are really cool in this game. They would just inspire you to build all sorts of
They
different
are.
things.
One thing I might suggest, Shahan, as well, is that we in the companion book there's a thing called Minor Arcana on 53.
Right.
That's the basically you spend 1 MP and you can do a cool thing. They have a list of stuff, but it's like it can
I was
be, like,
looking at
little
those.
things
Yeah,
like
those
start
are
a fire. or something
pretty
like that.
cool. Let's see. Where is that? Minor Arcana. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. To be able to do like minor things.
Because that way, that's because remember we were having a discussion before the break about whether or not Arcane Blast could do X or whatever. It's like, well, the answer to that is Minor Arcana. Spend 1 MP. Sure, you can do it. Just spend an MP. Because
Yeah.
MP, like, if it's worth it to you, spend 1 of your magic points.
Yeah, you do still have to spend a resource.
Yeah. So it's one of those. And the good thing is about MP though is that all you mages get MP back if you rest for at least 1 hour. Not all of it you roll, but there's a certain amount you get. So
Yeah. I think it's a
you're not
D6
scared to
plus,
spend.
plus
So-
willpower.
Good to know. That's definitely good to know.
Because it's not like D&D where you have to wait for long rests for all of it to come back. It's like, no. If you have at least an hour, you can get some of it back, and you can spend more and more hours. As long as John and I doesn't have something eating our faces in that hour, all of you can get your...
Oh, I will. Yeah, that reminded me. One of the setting books to this, the forward, was done by Will Wheaton.
Yeah.
Hey, since so we have 3 people going mage, right? And then
Three
one rogue,
mages
one
over
more.
there.
So I'm cool, even though I don't really plan on doing magic stuff. I'm cool with some kind of side, a la Skyrim, College of Winterhold, like magic school arc. Those are always cool. I like those.
Let me write this down. So magic school stuff.
If they they can learn new stuff.
The way I'm going to interpret that is, either there's going to be some sort of magic establishment, whether it's a school or government or something like that.
Oh, I like factions where if you support one, you can't support the other one. You got to make the decision.
Yeah.
Taking sides.
Yeah.
Keon was...
Yes, sir.
What class were you shooting at, by the way? Because I just realized we had 3 other mages, and I'm a rogue.
I'm gonna do warrior.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
I was
Sorry,
actually thinking
sorry.
about that too.
Because coming off of Dragon Age, I know that if you don't have each of the 3 represent at least once, it becomes a gap in the line.
Yeah, no, I just want to break stuff like Fred Durst, man. That's all I'm here for.
Hey, nothing wrong with going warrior.
And I decided while we were doing this, I'm gonna go berserker as the specialization. It's super
Oh dear
cool.
God!
Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead.
All the things die.
Yeah.
This is an interesting party for sure. Yeah, it sounds like we got our wish list here.
Page 2.
So yeah, I'm gonna draw this out. So I'm picturing it pretty much, exactly like the Mediterranean. It's just a big body of water between 2 giant land masses. That one it opens up to the ocean at a point. I feel like I'm gonna have you guys on the southern continent because I have plans for like the northern stuff going on. I'm thinking there's going to be kind of like one of those like dark islands up north, full of Vikings and dark wizards. It's going to be very Conan up there, except cold. It's one of my ideas for an area. But the place you will be from is going to be much more like kingdom, medieval style kind of stuff. Just on the cusp of like the Renaissance. But yeah. And it does also sound like we're probably going to be doing a polytheism here. I'm probably going to have a couple religions. Some poly, some mono. But it sounds like the goddess of love will be part of whatever. I'm sure she'll be part of whatever the main religion is of the region. Yeah.
I was thinking from the orcish end of things. I was thinking sort of animist idea. So the creator spirit plus all the various spirits that exist in the world. So I might hear Fae and go, "Oh, you're a wild spirit or a forest spirit of some kind." Okay, or you're a nature spirit.
Gotcha. Orcs, nature people, cool.
So probably like the Church of Beauty is something that's, at least to the orcs, is somewhat newish to us. It's like, oh, we've heard of you, but that's more of a. I just hit the mic. It's okay. It's one of those like we're hearing about it, but we're kind of the orcs are very. I mean, heck, we're talking about a species that, and at least the way I'm spinning them, that's like, I don't know about this fancy gun thing. It doesn't use your muscles. Why would you want to do that? I can't. Yeah.
Yeah, and to clarify a little bit, this would be a goddess of beauty, which I feel like is an important difference between love.
Yes.
Oh, true.
Beauty.
Goddess of beauty. You're right. Yep.
Beauty.
That will come into play a little bit in terms of why that matters.
No, that's definitely fair. Yeah. Definitely fair. There's a lot of stuff that could happen with that. Yeah, back when 5th edition was doing its playtest, man, the playtest was so good, and they took a lot of that away, and we were sad. But I made a warlock who worshipped a like beauty goddess, and the way that I was a warlock, and so the way I would get power is by giving away like my beauty. And so the more powerful I would become, the uglier I would become. Super interesting. But yeah, and then also I'm gonna write down
on the inside and out. You make me wanna barf.
So Washala is important to Aaron. The nature and primordial religions are important to orcs because of what Corbinian has said. The Fae is important to Gary. Do either of you two have anything that matters, like in Pantheon wise? Keanu or Thomas?
Again, because it's like a lost civilization. I need to think about that, but I'm also cool with you surprising me with it.
So you
Elder
want there to
gods.
be some old lost religion of Atlantis kind of thing?
Some kind of thing that somehow, ended up interacting with Elder God
That's
shit.
what my lore is.
Yeah.
Sounds
So I
dope.
got this idea for a play. It has to do with a king in yellow. Ah, never mind. It's not gonna take us.
Man, I
Should
started
we have to
reading.
play? No.
I started reading one of those like Cthulhu lore books. I forget which one it was. But like first page, just right out the gate, solid racism. I'm like, oh man.
Horrible. Shockingly bad.
Yeah, it was so like first page. The first page, the main character of the story I was reading was like, you know how I know he's a good guy? He believes in white supremacy. And I was like, geez, like that's rough. Yeah.
Rough.
Yeah, those books are pretty
Yeah.
problematic.
I had a neighbor like that one time.
Yeah.
I believe it.
That's not
Just
bad.
one?
Well, yeah, just one who had the Confederate flag sticker on the back windshield. Just someone makes it obvious, you know. When they make it obvious, you have to call them out for it.
True.
I like there's like a meme that's like Phineas and Ferb was on the air longer than the Confederacy was around. So like, you know, where are those flags? I don't know. It's funny. But yeah, so
Phineas and Ferb will rise again.
I'm sure it will.
So yeah, no, I have a good idea of what I want to do with this. Cool. So, oh yeah, I meant to ask each of you. Well, yeah. So loot-wise, this is something I haven't asked this in a session 0 before, but I'm just curious. I'm gonna ask each of you. I'll start with you, Aaron. What kind of rewards do you like? Like, you know, are you interested in titles, money, magic weapons? You know, like land, allies.
Definitely. I like the concept, at least for my character, to be somewhere between like armor that is enhances their abilities, and then also allies and like building strong connections.
Magic, armor, and allies. See, that's a good answer.
Yeah, I feel like that would be the primary focuses in terms of the goodies for doing what they do.
Yeah, because like I always feel bad when like I give somebody a thing and like I can see on their face they don't like it. And I'm like, oh man. Corbinian, what kind of rewards are you looking for?
That's a good question. I'm going for a low maintenance vagabond wanderer type character, so it's hard to describe.
What's your perfect Sunday? I'm just kidding.
Things that would not necessarily the actual thing, but maybe manuals or specs that would improve firearms or black powder. Because right now we're in arquebus territory, which is basically I made a cannon, a little cannon, and put it onto a crossbow trigger. Look at when I look at this, it's like that's inaccurate, short range, and not great. It's like, okay, well, we can improve that. And it's like maybe that can actually tie in with the ancient civilization thing, where maybe they already knew about that, or maybe they had something like that.
So mechanical engineering type things, lore, science.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Gary, what do you like?
I'm going to echo some magic items. Since I usually don't play a high fantasy world, I usually don't like having magic items around. But if we're gonna do it, let's go in. Let's get some magic items that are helpful, and then maybe some cursed items that are wacky and funny, and then maybe some cursed items that are horrible.
That are not wacky or funny.
Yeah, that are not wacky or funny at all.
A pair of hands that make you watch.
A quest or side quest. I'd like it to sort of change the flavor of the area or the world, so we can see the effect of what we've done, for better or worse.
Gotcha. I can abide. Excellent.
I just want to be able to affect the flavor of the locale.
Keanu Thomas.
I like everything that they said.
Okay. So you like a little bit of everything. Okay.
Yeah, if we're doing little side quest hooks for people, then give that person a little magic item as a reward, man. Remember, you got that shit when you did your quest. Good job, man. Let's move on to this next thing. Let's upgrade the ship. Let's get a hold maybe somewhere, if that's a thing.
Ship
Right.
upgrades. That's a good one.
Ship
that's a good one.
upgrades, yeah.
Ship
that was
upgrades,
good.
If our
And so
people
to
are
that point-
toppling other political eras too, there's no sense in saying that we couldn't just be like,
Maybe we
yes,
should-
now they have a title,
With like a small
Titles.
crappy ship.
right? Like if Aaron and Casualty are successful in what they're trying to pull off, when we pull off a heist, why wouldn't it come along with some sort of reward of that? Just disgracing a diplomat and getting trust in the interior or whatever.
With all that in mind, I would like to start with kind of a crappy ship then. That way we feel like we've really accomplished something when we have something cool.
Okay.
That's fair.
Like we just have an itty bitty sloop, and then we work our way up to.
What are the odds?
Mhm.
What are the odds we start with a heist or something where all of us, for
Steal the ship.
varying reasons, we're in a bit of trouble and we need to steal a ship?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
we're all
Oh,
heisting the
something
same
like that.
place for different reasons, or reasons that
Oh,
match
yeah.
up, and we all wind up on the ship at the end of that
Escape
session.
on the same ship. Yeah, either way we
Sure,
steal the
something
ship.
like that. Yeah.
We're all
Yeah.
heisting, and it may not even be the same heist. The camera's just cutting around the castle, like, what in the hell are these assholes up to?
I can
Yeah,
definitely
you guys-
accommodate this.
You guys are
So, quick
slipping
question then:
poison.
who? I have a quick question then. Who would be the like criminal mastermind? Do you think? Like, would we have like the
Yeah, would it be
classic
one of
heist
you?
dynamic of like,
Well,
Or
it would
No.
probably be. I think Thomas is a pirate, like straight up. I feel like it would be that.
Yeah, I'm
It
just
could
that's
be
sort of what
that.
I was feeling.
or you could have a fixture like a NPC. It doesn't matter.
Ooh, but they're bad.
Corbinian, do you want to be in, like, the dungeon of this castle? Do you get arrested for being an orc? Is that a thing that happens to you? For causing trouble and ruckus?
I was
My
thinking.
character has intelligence of -1 for planning heists, by the way. I steal shit.
I was thinking of more of this guy especially when we were sea campaign, he's more of a vagabond from ship to ship sort of thing. So if we were if we were stealing a ship, it'd be more like I'd be less the one helping steal a ship. I would be the one who would have been a stowaway, and then as sailing away, it's like well, actually I snuck here. I don't care who owns the ship. I just care that I'm not in this port anymore because I've worn out my welcome and the local lord is sick of my poaching. Because that's the thing, I'd be a poacher for most.
I could see
lords,
my
'cause-
character there to either disrupt a piece of crap knight or sergeant, or there to bust a hero out of the dungeon. And that's why I asked, because I could just be there on good whims to free somebody and not mean to be a part of this at all.
I think
I suppose in that way I could be arrested as a poacher because that's what I was thinking, that he's wandering from land to land. It's like, well, you're under arrest for what? Poaching. Okay, you got me there.
That will give our characters the link that I needed, is you'll be one of the heroes who I'm sent to make sure that they're doing heroic things and not caught behind some bullcrap.
It's like, I'll pay you the fee. It's fine. I can pay it. No, we will not take your coin. It's orcish coin. It's actually human coin. I'm not sure what you're being so bent out of shape about. I sell my meat, damn it.
I thought about asking you guys about like what you want to do in session 1. This works. I like it. I like it a lot.
I just want to say I'm going to be following whoever has the best plan.
Okay, that's fair.
That will be none of us, for the record.
kill.
See?
How many diplomas do they have?
Dang it! I had like a thing I was gonna ask,
There's a-
but I forgot. Yes.
what happened
So it
to
sounds
this
like-
developer?
It sounds like we pretty much got everything nailed. I know what rewards you guys are looking for. I know how we want to start this thing. Is there anything else you guys feel like telling me or asking for?
I love you.
Perfect Sunday, 3 scoops of ice cream.
Sunday.
That's you. I was wondering if
So-
someone was going to do that.
I love you, Jahan. That's what I
Aw.
want to tell you.
I love you too, Gary.
Yeah, man. I
Appreciate
feel better. Yeah, no problem.
I chose my 2 arcane schools.
Ooh.
What'd you pick?
Water and psychic.
Interesting.
What
Interesting.
psychic even does? I know it's there.
Very-
Psychic gives empathy. You can physically see the emotions of others, and when you succeed in knowing that we get a +2 bonus on communication tests.
Ooh, that's cool.
And then you have psychic contact, and I can just reach out and communicate with you psychically, and I feel like that's going to be useful.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think I'm gonna still stick, especially since we're going ship to ship. I'm not gonna be. Well, we might be doing heisting. I might. I'll stick with my gun. I am thinking. I have not tried that. Is that coffee?
No, it's just water.
Oh yeah. Not
Not a sponsor.
hashtag not sponsored. I mean, if you want to, no, I'm probably going to go with the contacts ability for Rogue. So that idea, especially going a vagabond where I'm going port to port. It's one of those like I may not be a fixer, but I might know a guy.
You're gonna know people? Okay.
I might know someone. It's like, I helped a guy once. I don't know. I didn't know he was important. Why? Well, he was being attacked by a bunch of guards. I shot the guard. They ran away because big loud gun. And he said I owed him one. He owed me one. I'm like, okay, cool. I've left. It's like, oh, I know that guy. I helped him once.
Sounds good. context, absolutely. So
And there's mechanics. I have to roll for it to fire, sort of thing. So
Yeah.
it might not always work.
I like the way it works in this game. Yeah. So it sounds like I got pretty much everything that I need from you to start. I hope everyone had fun. So yeah, I guess I said everything I need to say. How do you guys feel about session 0?
Good.
Like it.
Good.
Yeah,
So
no.
far, so good.
Feeling good. I think the equipment in Fantasy Age is, dare I say, overwhelming. There's so much equipment and stuff about like fashion and camping gear. It just goes on for pages and pages.
Oh yeah, I guess you can't. So you do have that starting gold,
That's what you spend it on.
and you can spend it. You can spend it before game starts. I didn't think about that, but yes, you definitely can. Yeah, there are grenades.
Almost.
Alchemist grenades are
It's
awesome.
so there's so much inventory there just for buying your initial gear that I almost just want to like hand wave and be like, "You take my gold, and I have what makes sense."
Shut up and take our money.
I might suggest, if overwhelming is an issue in general, I might suggest that the essentials are a given, but if it's anything special, like you want to make sure you have it, that's when you'd go to a store. Like, I really want a piece of chalk. Well, that's not something you just walk around with, so you're gonna have to go to a general store. You have that much gold on you, because that way it makes grabbing gold and silver worth something.
Hey,
That's
you
what
can
we would spend it
you
on
can
also.
just keep as much of the gold as you want to as well. Just buy the essentials.
I think what I'm going to do is sort of as we play, I'm going to buy the things that make sense that I would have had.
Yeah.
You're gonna retcon buy? Gotcha.
Yeah, I have 193 gold, and like I don't have an intention.
Yeah, you're
of sitting
swimming in
here.
gold compared to me.
Yeah, I don't want to sit here for the next 30 minutes trying to figure out how to spend all 193.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, I've got a backpack full of the adventuring stuff that makes sense that came from the Fae.
There is quite a bit. Yeah, I'm looking now. I haven't looked at the section yet.
It really, the part that got me was the clothes and fashion, where I was like, do we really need jackets, jerkins, loincloth, 2 types of masks, tabards, stockings, slippers, underclothes?
You can
like,
buy
are we really doing this, guys?
Furniture.
We make sure we differentiate between vest and a shirt.
If you don't buy, just don't worry about the clothes stuff unless it matters. Like, what do you call it? Mechanically, you know.
Like if we need a disguise.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to buy that disguise, it costs around.
If you want to buy
this
like a
much.
second set of clothes or something, fine. But you can look like pretty much what you want.
As a character creation guy, when I see this, now I'm like, well, damn, maybe my character does need a plaster mask. Maybe I need a couple of plaster masks. You know, you never know. Maybe
Never
that's
have
my
too many
thing.
plaster masks.
That's exactly right. Maybe I make plaster molds of my friends' faces while they're sleeping, and that's a new thing that I do. It's
It looks just like me.
I'm just imagining just sleeping there and some jerk just pouring stuff on my face. Don't move. Don't panic. If you panic, you'll move. It'll screw it all up.
quiet. Hold on.
We'll have to do it tomorrow
Stay
night.
still.
I
Oh,
do this
man.
with everybody.
Please don't make me run a game where you're plastering people's faces while they're sleeping. I'll do it,
No
but I don't want
promises.
to. But yeah, that's. So yeah, you guys can spend your money on whatever you want in this section, or you can keep as much of it as you want to. If you have any questions about it, feel free to reach out. But you don't have to do it right now. I think we're going to call it at this point. I feel like we got pretty much everything out of the way that we need to get. So I'm going to let everybody go. I had fun. I'm looking forward to playing this game of Fantasy Age. I'm going to have to come up with like a bunch of names for stuff. But I look forward to doing that this weekend. So thanks for being here, everybody. And thanks everyone for watching. I've been Johanan at RockFact on Twitter. Yeah, everybody else can say their things.
It's me,
thanks for being-
Casualty, CDG. I'm the co-host of Fresh Out the Box. I just want to say thank you all for being here. Thanks for coming. We're here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday playing different tabletop games. You can see Corbinian and Aaron playing superhero games with us on Wednesdays. And on Fridays, we're playing Modern Age. So if you like the Age system, stop by, see Robert and Mr. Kapow. We've been playing for a few episodes now. We also have a podcast. The podcast is all about movies, streaming shows, video games, and other things that we, as nerds, enjoy. It's called Fresh Out the Podcast. So our show is Fresh Out the Box, and it's called Fresh Out the Podcast. And we workshopped a couple names, but that one really rang out for us for some reason. You should check that out. Yeah, we've got like 2,000 downloads and listens and such now. It's really taken off, and we have a great time with it. So check out Fresh Out the Podcast.
I think Thomas
You
is
have
next.
it,
Oh, so I'll go now?
Yeah, you go now.
Took my spot. Hey, thank y'all so much for tuning in. As always, we really appreciate y'all spending time with us. You can check me out at Thomas Avenger on anything. I'll be making a painting of Eddie from Stranger Things soon, and come get me to do some voice stuff on TikTok, man.
And I've been AD Springer, also known as Corbinian, your variety a variety video game Twitch streamer and TTRPG streamer. You can find me at not at, but you can find me as Corbinian here on Twitch. Yes, on Twitch. I'm right. On Saturdays midday, I do Star Trek Klingon Adventures, where I watch Klingons try not to kill each other, even though they're on the same team. But don't worry, I'm fixing it, and they're not gonna like it. And you can follow me at ElectricMetCHSR on Twitter, and that's when you will see when I'm doing other stuff, like what games I'm playing, when I'm playing them, because I'm kind of lazy about my timing, just like all good Twitch streamers.
I am Erin Baumier, also Erin Dippity Doo online. I'm a co-designer and developer with Adventure Slang Productions. We are in the middle of making a fresh setting RPG, New of Arden. Besides that, I co-host Adventure Slang podcast, and that's what we got going on.
And your boy, Keon, K-I-Y, always hate Nazis, on all streaming platforms everywhere. I make music, so I'm on the Instagram at King Keon, I'm on TikTok at King Keon, and I'll see you later.
Before we go real quick, I just feel like we should acknowledge DB for the raid and Zaxu for the raid. We're just ending. We got 2 raids right at the end here. We stream 8 to 11 Central Standard Time. So come back next week to see our first session of Fantasy Age. Thank you, everybody.
It's
And
gonna be pirates. You're gonna love it.
gonna be pirates.
Adventure and intrigue.
Stay fresh.